Hey folks, welcome back. So in this video we are going to paint together. I'm working on a small A6 Factor Note sketchbook which is very affordable, easily available and surprisingly usable for watercolor practice. The covers are a bit too girlish, which I really didn't like, so I pasted a silver foil sticker over it. These are like $2, which is pretty cheap. I'll put the links in the description box below. Well, this is our inspiration for today, and it's gonna be a very calm paint with me video. So feel free to pause, slow down and paint along at your own pace. Here our aim is to keep everything very loose. We are not looking for straight lines, nor we are trying to control things. We're gonna just let everything flow. Alright, as you can see, after drawing the frame, we need to decide the horizon line and the vanishing point. From the vanishing point, we pull straight lines all across the frame. We call these the perspective lines. This creates depth in our watercolor paintings. After that, we draw some buildings from right to left, keeping in mind these perspective lines. But then if you're not familiar with perspective, I have a video which will explain you everything. I'll put that video at the end of this video. Anyways, these buildings will be painted dark and the figures and the cars will be painted darker, so that these figures, cars separate themselves from the background. Don't worry about how to sketch these cars. If you look closely, you will see these are some random square-shaped pencil marks which just looks like cars. And same thing applies for the figures too. Remember, sketching is the backbone of a painting. Don't ignore this part. To paint this piece, all we need is light gray, dark gray, blue and orange. In my palette, I have Lavender by Aquatone, Mayan Orange, Daniel Smith, Cool Gray by Aquatone, and Neutral Tint, Daniel Smith again. Brushes I'm using here is Princeton Heritage Round 8 and Escoda Perla Round 6. So the plan here is simple. We'll paint the sky with orange and lavender, which is going to reflect on the street. Then we'll paint the buildings with darker tones, but the figures and cars will have the darkest of values. And finally, we'll paint the reflections of those figures and cars, which will unify the whole street scene. Now collect all your gear and start painting with me.